Welcome students to the second session on Gandhiji. The first session we have looked at the life of Gandhiji. In his life we have seen the various events, the role of his mother who has played a very significant impression on his life. We have seen his father who has been a major influence on his life as well. Both together, along with his school education and the religious background of Gandhiji, has led him to be such a great and powerful leader. All the experiences of Gandhiji in his education, in his school life, his role as a sibling at home, the religious duties and his moral duties towards his parents has been extremely influential in him being such a powerful leader. He was extremely truthful and an ardent follower of everything that his mother taught him. The truthfulness of Gandhiji can be seen throughout his life, especially when he was studying at England. In spite of the influences in the Western society, he was able to sustain himself, especially to the vows that he made to his mother to abstain from meat, smoking and drinking. His regular habit of studies has led him to complete his education in a short span of time. His meticulous understanding of accounting, keeping account of the money that his brother was spending on him, has led him to maximize his experiences with minimum expenditure. His life has been not of a simple life. He has gone through many hardships. He has not had a life that was without any difficulty. Like most ordinary people, he has had hardships in his life. He has had friends who have led him to unworthy habits, to habits that were not good for him. But his personality, his character has led him to come back on track and to be truthful and to be powerful in his life. His constant belief in his religion and his dedication to the words of his parents has led him to be a huge leader. In this session, we will be looking at Satyagraha and the non-violence movement. Gandhiji, known as the Mahatma, his title as Mahatma, the meaning of the term itself means the great one, the great souled one, and his life, through his life experience, we can see at various juncture of his life how he has proved to come out as a victorious, brilliant person in every walk of life, whether it be his education, whether it be his personal life, whether it be himself as a family man. In his public life as well, he has been extremely patient, and his teachings of the religion of non-violence and ahimsa has led him to be a role model not only to the Indians but across the globe. His movement in South Africa, as we will see later on in the sessions as well, has been extremely commendable. He has been able to influence people across the world with his simple lifestyle. His simple living has influenced people around him. He was not running after wealth or name or fame. He was a charismatic leader who was able to draw people to himself. His teachings of life can be adhered to even today. People are following the teachings of Gandhiji even today, and that makes him the great one, the great souled one. This entire session we are looking at his non-violent and Satyagraha movement, the meaning of these terms and how it has influenced the Indian movement against the British and the Indian movement towards independence. In this entire session, which will be dealt by Miss Lakshmi, you will learn the meanings and the terms of Satyagraha. Mahatma Gandhi was so renowned across the globe that in the UN, it is proposed to have a sculpture of him uplifted by the 14th of December, which will be inaugurated by the 14th of December. And this is a remarkable achievement for someone who has passed away, but his legacy lives on. The legacy of Gandhiji through his non-violent movement lives on in the lives of the Indians and across the globe. It is influential for everyone in this globalizing, fast-moving world where everyone is moving towards materialism. Gandhiji lived on to look at a non-violent movement where you look at basic living, and this will be dealt in details through the topics on Satyagraha and non-violence by Ms. Lakshmi Nair. Thank you and see you in the next session.
9/11. What comes to your mind? The Twin Tower attacks, right? However, it also marks the day Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi launched a novel method of opposition, Satyagraha. Welcome students. In this session, we will look at the ideas of Satyagraha and non-violence as preached and practiced by Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. We shall listen to the concepts, principles and background of Satyagraha and non-violence. We shall also listen to an elaboration of these concepts in his own words. 9/11/1906, Mahatma Gandhi launched his first Satyagraha in South Africa. People gathered at a theatre in Johannesburg, listened to Gandhi's idea, organizing a strategy of non-violent resistance to oppose racist policies in South Africa. Satyagraha was born, and since then there has been no turning back. Having been adopted by many nations and leaders around the world as a tool to resist social injustice and oppression, Satyagraha is an idea whose development is entwined with that of the independence movement in India and Africa. What is Satyagraha? Satya means truth and Agraha means polite insistence. Therefore, Satyagraha means holding on to truth firmly. Truth, Satya, implies love, and firmness, Agraha, engenders and therefore serves as a synonym for force. Mahatma Gandhi thus began to call Satyagraha a force which is born out of truth and love. Let's listen to Gandhi's own words on what Satyagraha means to him. Its root meaning is holding on to truth, hence truth force. I have also called it love force or soul force. In the application of Satyagraha, I have discovered in the earliest stages that the pursuit of truth did not admit violence being inflicted on one's opponent, but that he must be weaned from error by patience and compassion. And patience means self-suffering. So the doctrine came to mean vindication of truth, not by infliction of suffering on the opponent, but on oneself. You might be wondering, are ahimsa and satyagraha different from each other? They are two sides of the same coin. Satyagraha is occasionally used to refer to the whole principle of non-violence, and sometimes used in a context to refer specifically to an action that is largely obstructive, for example, in the form of civil disobedience. In Gandhi's own words, he describes both thus: without ahimsa, it is not possible to seek and find truth. They are like the two sides of a coin, or rather of a smooth, unstamped metallic disc. Nevertheless, ahimsa is truth, and truth is a means to an end. Now the next question: what is civil disobedience? Civil disobedience and non-cooperation as practiced under Satyagraha are based on the law of suffering. It is a doctrine that says the endurance of suffering is a means to an end. The end here means a moral uplift or progress of an individual or society. Therefore, the non-cooperation of Satyagraha is in fact a means to secure the cooperation of the opponent. In Young India, Gandhi wrote about the prerequisites and training needed to be a Satyagrahi. Number 1. Appreciate the other laws of the state and obey them voluntarily. Number 2. Tolerate these laws even when they are inconvenient. Number 3. Be willing to undergo suffering, loss of property, and to endure the suffering that might be inflicted on family and friends. What is most interesting is the list of rules to be followed during a Satyagraha campaign. Number 1. Harbor no anger. Number 2. Suffer the anger of the opponent. Number 3. Never retaliate to assaults or punishment, but do not submit out of fear of punishment or assault to an order given in anger. Number 4. Voluntarily submit to arrest or confiscation of your own property. Number 5. If you are a trustee of property, defend them non-violently from confiscation with your life. Number 6. Do not curse or swear. Number 7. Do not insult the opponent. Number 8. Neither salute nor insult the flag of your opponent or your opponent's leaders. Number 9. If anyone attempts to insult or assault your opponent, defend your opponent with your life. Number 10. As a prisoner, behave courteously and obey prison regulations except any that are contrary to self-respect. Number 11. As a prisoner, do not ask for special favorable treatment. Number 12. As a prisoner, do not fast in an attempt to gain conveniences whose deprivation does not involve any injury to your self-respect. 13. Joyfully obey the orders of the leaders of the civil disobedience action. This shows how Satyagraha was not merely a tool of resistance but a way of life. Perhaps Gandhi was certain in his mind about the immense gamble in putting a country on the road to mass non-violent resistance, especially when there was no successful precedent in history for supposing that such a new form of resistance could be politically efficacious. Should we gamble on Gandhi? Moving against the current trending words globalization, neoliberalization, development, it is perhaps time to take a serious look at his life, work and ideas to find solutions for ills ailing India. A lot of us and many who openly admire Gandhi doubt the efficaciousness of Satyagraha, as his own definition seems saintly if not too perfect to emulate. In his own lifetime and since then, many analysts have claimed that such a form of resistance could only have succeeded against an allegedly mild-mannered opponent such as the British. If Gandhi could not forestall his own violent death, if indeed his teachings appear to have left little impression upon his own countrymen, should we, of all, expect the primacy of non-violence to be recognized by actors in the modern nation-state system, which was born of violence and, as contemporary politics more than adequately demonstrates, feeds on it at every turn? Gandhi has argued that non-violence is not merely a weapon to be adopted or abandoned at random will, and that practitioners of non-violence are ethically bound to understand that shortcomings in the application of non-violence do not reflect upon any limitation inherent to non-violence itself. Though there is a tendency to view Gandhi's adherence to non-violence as a measure of his romanticism, naivety, and failure to recognize the nature of modern politics, it is telling that Gandhi did not uncritically impose his ideas on others. Gandhi's assassin had charged him for foisting non-violence upon Indians' masses. Gandhi gambled away everything and put his life on the spot. No more interesting gamble has perhaps ever been waged in contemporary history, and Gandhi's critique of modern knowledge systems, his interrogation of received notions of politics, development and dissent, and his censuring of non-violence to mass resistance all stand forth as a vivid testimony of his political genius and ethical probity. An American journalist, Louis Fisher, once asked Gandhi why he did not preach non-violence to the West. He replies thus, "How can I preach non-violence to the West when I have not even convinced India? I am a spent bullet." However enthusiastic a missionary Gandhi may have been in the cause of ahimsa, he believed it indefensible to propagate teachings that one is unable to observe within his own life or within his own community. Gandhi influenced Martin Luther King Jr. in developing ideas during the civil rights movement in the United States. The small voice of non-violence, many agree, is seldom heard in the din of violence. In this session, we have looked at the ideas of Satyagraha and non-violence as preached and practiced by Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. We have revised the concepts, principles, and background of Satyagraha and non-violence. We have listened to an elaboration of these concepts in Gandhi's own words. Thank you.